Hello and welcome to Jeff's Pianist Academy. Today we are discussing the key aspect of musicality, how to interpret a piece. And I will show you 5 techniques how to make your music more expressive. And to demonstrate these techniques, we will be using beautiful piece by Grieg from his lyric pieces Arietta. But what is interpretation? This is a process of understanding and expressing emotions and ideas behind the music. It's not only about playing the correct notes, it's about bringing your own voice to the piece while standing true to the composer's intentions. And this is why it's very important to know which genre are you playing and to which epoch your composition belongs to. For example, Grieg belongs to the Romantic era, and this time the music was very expressive and often inspired by nature and emotions. And for example, arietta means little aria. This is a type of vocal music. This suggests that the piece should be played in a very singing style. The 5 key techniques of interpretation would be phrasing, dynamics, rubato, pedal, and your personal interpretation. And let's start with phrasing. The way you shape these phrases gives your music its flow and helps to convey the emotions. And a phrase is like a breath in the music. And as I told you earlier, this composition is called arietta, so it has something to do with singing, and Grieg wanted the melody to sound like it would be sung. And before I show you how it works on an example, let's speak about the dynamics as well. Dynamics help us to create contrast and to enhance the intensity of the music. Arietta is a very soft piece, almost like a lullaby, so you will find only piano and pianissimo, but there is more to be done, and so let's take a look on the example. The first 2 measures belong together. We see a crescendo in the first measure, which leads into the second. The same happens in the measures 3 and 4. We do the crescendo towards the second measure. And again. Now we could also connect these 4 measures and create a phrase. Then I would play measures 3 and 4 softer compared to the first 2, like this. It helps us to create this tension for all 4 measures, and this creates a longer phrase. In my opinion, phrasing and dynamics belong together. Dynamics help us to create the phrase. To make it more understandable, I will play it without the dynamics at all. And you see, if I play it just in the same dynamic, in the same volume, without any crescendi, it starts to fall apart. It's just like a very mechanical thing. It has nothing emotional in it. Then let's take a look on the measures 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. They are also similar. The only difference we see here is an additional 16th note, which nicely encircles the C. Let's take a look. This is what I was speaking about previously. Bam 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 baram bararam ba bam. Here we could play the repetition more intensely, in contrast to the first phrase, like this. Second time. Measures 9 and 10 and 11, 12 are similar again, but this time we are focusing on the harmony. What creates the tension? Where is the resolution? For example, this is more intense, and this, even it's dissonant as well, but the resolution is here, and it leads us to E flat measure again. What I want to say is sometimes the dynamics are not written in the music, but we still should have an idea, a logical idea, how to perform it. The second thing is that the rhythm and the melodic line are very similar here, and mostly it's like two measures motifs combined with another motif, and it builds a 4 measures phrase. And this happens several times throughout this composition, and this makes it sound so easy to understand, somehow even a little bit naive and innocent. And this is arietta, this is not aria, and this is a small lyric composition, and this is exactly how it should sound. So helping out with dynamics and with this phrasing contribute a lot to understanding of this composition and to make it sound like the composer wanted it to sound. The third key of interpretation is tempo rubato. Tempo rubato is the ability to slow down and speed up, making the music more lively and more emotional. It's difficult if you're not used to do it, but you need to know how to do it in romantic music. An example for you. The last measures of this composition, we are going toward the end, and in the last measure, I'll show you, you can see retardando, and before nothing, no indication is written, but we still have to play it this way. If we would be playing it with metronome, tung, 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 it would sound something like this. Pum, 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 pum. And this would not sound nice. So you need a lot more freedom to perform this arietta. And even it's not written, not indicated in the music, you still need to have this feeling, this ability, and to understand where you can slow down a little bit, and then in the next measure you continue playing in the same tempo. Another essential technique, or not even technique, you just need a pedal while performing romantic music. You cannot do without it. So let's see. First of all, without pedal, this composition would sound like this. No questions. With pedal, in a lyrical romantic piece like arietta, the use of the pedal is essential to keep the sound soft and connected. Compared to this. So the pedal helps to connect notes. However, because of the pedaling, the sound shouldn't become too blurred like this. And so on. Grieg intended the melody to sing, and the pedal connecting the accompaniment helps us to support this flowing vocal style. A very good technique is a half pedal. So when you don't press the pedal to the end, it's just in the middle. And in pieces like this, using this half pedal can be effective and extending the sound without obscuring the harmonic changes, and they're important. We want to hear and to understand this. So you can press the pedal lightly during long sustained notes and gradually release it when the chords change, when the harmony changes. And please avoid over pedaling. It's important to ensure that the pedal doesn't muddy the harmony. So make sure you lift the pedal slightly with each harmonic change to maintain clean transitions. Like this. Here you can change the pedal. Here you can change it again and again. Change, 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 change. Last but not least, your personal interpretation. This is exactly what makes your performance unique. Think about what awakes emotions in you and what this composition means to you. What would you like to express through this music? The questions which might be helpful: what do you feel when you play arietta? What emotions or images comes to your mind? What does this piece mean to you personal? And how might your life experiences influence your interpretation? As an example, some people might play arietta as a lullaby, very soft and very calm, and other play it more optimistic with more joy in it, and it awakes totally different emotions in your audience as well. An example. You see, the tempo was different, the dynamics were different, the phrasing was different, and of course the Greek word as poco andante sostenuto. So actually there is an indication how to play it, but still when you have your own interpretation, it may be a little bit different from what the composer originally writes. But it shouldn't be too different, because then you will just do your own will without respecting the wish of composer. So to summarize, phrasing, dynamics, tempo rubato, pedal usage, and your personal interpretation are the key elements of the interpretation. I encourage you to experiment with them and find your own interpretation of arietta or any other piece you're currently working on. And please let me know in the comments how you apply these ideas. By the way, if you want to learn more about this topic, check our musicality series, especially the video style and performance practice.